Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Neil out here on the Widener Range, and I'm gonna start a little series here that I'm just gonna kind of call experimentation. And I'm gonna experiment with a few of the things that we've seen on the channel, the big channel lately, and within the app, of course, as well. So if you're in the app, welcome, thank you. But some of the shooting problems that we've seen, and I want you to come along with me for this.
Today's video is brought to us by Mantis. The Mantis family of products is integral to ASP staff building handgun and carbine skills and are your most economical and fastest path to improvement in your skills too. Whether you choose the X10, the Laser Academy, the Blackbeard, or use them all in concert, they will help your practice be more effective, efficient, and fun. Go check them out, pick up a unit, and thank them for sponsoring today's video.
So we had a video not too long ago that had some law enforcement folks responding to a domestic violence, which most of them will tell you that's one of the most dangerous things that they can do. And they walked in and our homeowner had a shotgun. And I'm hoping that by the miracle of video editing that our editor can at least show you a little bit of that problem that we saw. But what you're gonna see is a guy, the husband, as the wife runs out, the cop walks in, he gets to about three and a half yards maybe from the guy and sees that he's got a shotgun in hand. Now I've got the orange shotgun, he didn't have one near as cool as me, but you understand that he had a shotgun, and really this is to recreate the problem that the law enforcement guy that our officer faced that night, just to get an understanding. And one of the main issues that we saw was a lot of people, well, he didn't point the gun at anybody. He's got a right to have a gun in his house. He can have a gun in his hand if he's in his own home, all of that kind of stuff. And while I agree with all of that, never a good idea to pick up a shotgun when law enforcement's in your house. If they're walking in, responding to a domestic, again, hopefully you don't ever have to deal with that. If, God forbid, that happens, don't pick up a shotgun. That's just silly. But here, I'm gonna play the video really quick for you so you can kind of see. But what I want you to look for is when our shirtless dude with a shotgun, who is holding it kind of like this, the go signal for law enforcement guy, for our officer, was the shoulder raising as he went to get the gun into his hand. Look at that and see what kind of time frame that is. And then we're gonna come back and we're gonna test that.
Hey, sir. Sir?
Don't come here, boss.
Wait,
don't go.
So you saw that happen really fast. Our law enforcement guy had about a .6 draw to first shot. My guess is he had his hand on the gun as he walked in there, so it wasn't, now that's my guess, I don't know for sure. I'm in my mind, I'm hoping he didn't. I hope he is that fast, that is great. But let's recreate the problem that he had here. And I'm standing at about 3 yards. I'm gonna put my ears on and I'm gonna, let's see here, I think I'll leave you right there. What I want you to look for is my shoulder rising, and that is the time that our officer really had the go signal that something was about to happen. And let's see how fast I can do this. Now I'm probably a little bit better than the average Joe with a shotgun, but not much. I'm a pretty average guy. And so let's see how fast I can do this. So I gotta load up my shotgun. I'm on safe. So I'm gonna start with an on safe, finger off the trigger like so. And so when I want to, that's an A zone hit. Now it's a little bit off, but if a human body is that size, I would have hit somebody pretty easy there, right? That's pretty quick without even aiming. Now let's do this with aiming now, okay? So from the same thing, wow, same hole, that's pretty quick, right? Now I'm gonna give you another angle to watch so you can see potentially what our officer saw. I'm gonna stand at that same distance here. Now, with that same thing, as he comes up, it's boom. There's not, you've got to believe if somebody's got a gun, they're willing to use it, especially if you're walking, into a room that they're in and they've got a gun, especially in a heated debate or whatever. If they're threatening you with a gun, there's a lot, and we're gonna see a lot more of these over the next few weeks as I recreate a few of these. But man, if you're responding to a domestic, somebody's got a shotgun in your hand, you have to believe they're gonna use it. You just have to. So what I wanna do here is time this. And from the beep, now, The officer didn't have a beep, neither did our homeowner in this case, but I'm gonna give myself a beep. I got a delay set up on this and just see what kind of time frame we're working on, okay? Okay, good A-zone hit in .71, .71. That's a good A-zone hit, okay? So now let's aim and see how fast they can do this. Now we know the officer did it in about .61, so he was barely ahead of the game, but let's try it with an aimed shot. Got it, okay, another good A-zone hit in .75. Didn't take me a whole lot longer to aim just because of the way the gun comes up, okay? So, here, I'm gonna turn this around so you can see our target. Not a lot of shooting in today's video, but hopefully you got to see some of that. Here's my first two shots, second shot and third shot. I'm telling you, with a shotgun, hopefully, I mean, it doesn't matter if he's using birdshot or whatever. At that distance, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna do serious damage. Now, you're much more likely to survive birdshot than you are buckshot, but the officer didn't know. And so for somebody to say, well, he didn't aim the gun at anybody, all he did was move his shoulder. Well, and a lot of people didn't even notice the shoulder. You know, John and Mike broke that one down, I thought, very well. They paused it to show him raising the gun up. That's what we'd call a furtive movement. That's an indicator that bad things are going to happen. And if you sit around and wait to see what happens next, you know, you get to be the one that goes home, or maybe to the hospital, or or to the morgue. And so I think that in that case, law enforcement made the right choice. He didn't have much more time than that. You know, and I don't know that there was a ton of different stuff that he could have done. Can break down a whole lot more, and I may do a React Ripple over on the app to talk about some of the other things. But you know, the law enforcement had to come in. There was the third party that had called was a teenager, so the teenager is unaccounted for. They can't leave the house. They've got to clear that thing and make sure everybody's okay. So given the decisions and the time frame that the law enforcement had to make on that one, I support him. I think he did the right thing. It's horrible when somebody dies in that kind of a scenario, but you know, it's a good thing to say, hey, maybe don't mix guns and your domestic violence. I don't know. You know, I think that you know, sometimes I use humor to make light of these kind of things so that I can live with them. But that's a horrible situation. Somebody lost a husband, somebody lost a dad, somebody lost a son in that scenario. Probably could have been avoided. Some poor decisions were made, but I think the law enforcement guy did his best and did the right thing. So hope to see you next time, and we're gonna break down another one. So see you next time.